What's up, guys, and welcome to our mindset training for this week. As you can see, it is our wild card weekend. And if you know me, if you can see my hoodie, you know I love football. Steelers are playing tonight, which is very hype. Very excited about that. But I was watching all of wild card weekend. Honestly, I think one of the best of all time, but not really important for what we're talking about. But I was listening to the broadcast on it was Tom Brady talking, and he was talking about Jalen Hurts. And I'm not really a big Eagles guy. I was actually very glad that they lost yesterday. Sorry if you are an Eagles fan. Not that big a deal, though, if you're in the NFC, but I digress again. Anyway, he was talking about how when he was growing up, he often had a lot of things that were handed to him. Based on his story, there was a lot of things that wasn't like life was easy, but it was almost like a lot of the things, especially in football, as he was a very gifted player, a lot of things came very naturally to him, came very easily to him. Then once he got to college, things got a lot more difficult. And if you know his story, you know he got benched in the national championship game at Alabama. And I don't know about you, but I can just imagine the weight that comes with that. And I can't even believe how that felt. But Tom Brady was saying that was actually the defining moment for him because it built the resiliency required for him to build a career in the NFL. Because there's constantly people that are going to be bigger, faster, stronger than you at the next level. When you're in high school, you might be the best player on your team. You might be the best player in your conference. Then once you get to college, everybody was the best player on their team, the best player in their conference. When you get to the next level after that, everybody was the best player on their college team, one of the best players in their conference, all those type of things. And the competition just gets tighter and tighter, and you're gonna see more failure, you're gonna see more mistakes the higher up you go, just because you're playing better people. And if you're not willing to do the hard things to build the resiliency at the level you're at right now, then you're not going to be able to perform at that next level. He was saying it was such a big thing for Jalen Hurts because he built the resiliency in college to be able to play at the next level of the NFL. He was able to build in those hard times, in the difficult times, even as difficult as being benched in the national championship game. He was able to take that and use it as fuel and use it as an experience that was going to help him when he contacted greater trials after that, when he contacted things that were even harder for him. So I want you to, first of all, if you're at that point where you feel like, okay, I'm one of the best players on my team, the best player in my conference, in that area there, think of a way. What's a way to challenge yourself? Maybe that's going to another team and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone in that. Throwing yourself in the fire so that you can be pushed, building that resiliency for where you need to go, or whether that's setting goals for yourself every game to get at a certain level of rebounds, assists, steals, whatever it is. Setting challenges for yourself and setting expectations and consequences for if you don't reach those goals. Maybe you got to do push-ups after the game if you don't reach those goals, but making those everything you got to chase. Start to make things harder on yourself, not just in the game making it harder on yourself, but how can we challenge ourselves as much as we possibly can now? Because if you want to make it to that next level, it's going to challenge you even more at the next level. So that's what I wanted to encourage you guys with today, is finding ways to challenge yourself. Maybe that's as drastic as moving teams next season, or maybe that's just finding little ways to challenge yourself within the game that you're in right now, or within the practice you're in right now. Find a way to push yourself a little bit harder and challenge yourself a little bit more, and know that if you fail, it's okay. It doesn't make you a failure. It just actually means you have an opportunity to grow. So take that, use that as encouragement, and keep on changing the world.